Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. My name is Sifu Bryan. I'm a North Bryan Mantis Kung Fu teacher with over 30 years experience. It is the 16th of May 2021. Welcome to my weekly quote, guys. Let's get straight to it. When people begin to ignore human dignity, it will not be long before they begin to ignore human rights. Gilbert K. Chesterton. Most definitely, phenomenal quote, hit me right here. Yeah, when people begin to ignore human dignity, it will not be long before they begin to ignore human rights. And what's been going on for over a year now in this country and in all around the world, governments and these authorities and these rich billionaires seem to have it in for our human rights and our dignity. And there seems to be a lot more people now waking up to saying, something's not right, something doesn't seem right, and you should listen to your intuition, listen to that inner voice, because something is not right. I always say to my students, if something doesn't sound right, question it. Have an open mind. Your mind is like a parachute. If it's closed, it is no good. Keep an open mind. Ask questions. If you're wrong, then hey, hand on heart, you're wrong. But at least you asked a question and you didn't sit there quietly and just nodding your head. Okay, yes sir, no sir. How high do you want me to jump? Alright, you should ask questions. So, on that note, now I've been doing a bit of research and investigation because I like to do that. I don't like to just agree with everything and just nod my head and even though something can be inside me saying something doesn't sound right, you've got to do your own research. And if people are saying you are wrong, then hey, so be it. They've got a right to their to their to their own mind and all. They've got a right to say that to you, as you've got a right to not agree. Yeah, but again, this has been trying to be taken away from us, our free speech and all that. So that's why this quote got me very well. Now, some of the things I've been doing, I've gathered it from an ex-police officer called Chris Stadnam, and also Dolores Cahill was where I got a lot of my info from. But let's step back into history a little bit. Now, we do have rights, but let's go back into history a little bit here. In June 1953, the Queen swore an oath at her coronation. She agreed to maintain the laws and the laws of God, and she agreed to protect the Commonwealth and respect the church. She did not say she will fully support the government, and if they are breaking the law, that she will support that too. That is something she cannot support. The government and the police are answerable to the Queen and its people. Now, when you are born with an array of rights. Sorry for me keep looking down. I'm looking at my notes to keep me on track because I know I'm wandering all sorts of directions. But anyway, and these rights are called inalienable rights, which are given to you when you are born. It cannot be taken away by anyone. These inalienable rights are not given to us by the Queen or the government. They are given to us by God Almighty, whether you believe in him or not, regardless of your faith or religion. All people of this planet are given these rights automatically when they are born. This is thousands of years of written law, so it is true. And it is important for you to know. Very important for you guys to know this. The constitutional law is that the government is brought in by the people, but the three tiers of government cannot bring in any acts, statutes, or regulations that infringes on the natural laws, rights that have been enabledly given to us from birth and can never be taken away. So what are these rights that can never be taken away? Well, let's get into it. They are a right to life, to freedom and the pursuit of happiness, the right to contract or not contract. You have the right to earn a living for wages. They're trying to take that away. It's illegal and it's unlawful. You have the right to travel. Again, these are our inalienable rights. Now, they're implying they can take this away, but they cannot. These rights are given to you by God. They cannot take these rights away. Now, if you look inside the first page of your passport, it says Her Majesty. All those whom it may concern, to allow the bearer to pass freely without let or hindrance, and to afford the bearer such protection as may be necessary. Go and look into your passports and I guarantee it's there. Don't believe anything I say. Do your own research. But go and take a look in your passport. They cannot stop you from flying. They cannot stop you from travelling. They can't do it. Now, if they could do it, why on earth would they say you are going to be fined for flying if you leave the country? But I thought you said it's law. You've got to listen to these people and listen very closely. People are not, or unfortunately our governments are not telling us the truth. You can fly and people are flying. Now you have the right to privacy and confidentiality. So when these shops are asking for your details, it goes against your inalienable rights. It's unlawful and it's not private or confidential. So they are breaking the law. Self-defense to protect from harm, loss or deceit. This is written in law. You also have the right to remain silent. No one can force you to speak. If police ask you questions, you do not have to speak. Equality in law. So everyone is supposed to be treated the same. Religion, rich or poor, you're supposed to be treated the same under the equality in law. Peaceful association, including protests. They're trying to take that away. Did you see the freedom march over the weekend? Did you see them marching? Thousands, hundreds of thousands of people marching in London. I bet they didn't show that one because it was going against these jabs and going against obviously the lockdowns. They were protesting. No masks were on display and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and I bet you there's going to be no upsurge in so-called things there. But every time people have marched, there's been no upsurge, so something's not quite right. Where are we? Yeah, to practice our religion, beliefs, and our religion independently or as a group. Now, I don't know if you saw the police when they went into a church over the Easter weekend and they stopped a service. Unbelievable. this is wrong and it's unlawful. And it made a lot of people very, very angry seeing that. You have a right to security from tyranny, from tyranny and war. But unfortunately, the tyranny seems to be coming from our government. And we are at war whether you like it or not. People fought in 2 world wars for our freedoms, for our liberties, for our freedom of speech. They died for this. What would they think of us now that we're just bending over and allowing these people to take away our rights? To live in peace and to be left alone when you're law abiding. If you're not causing anybody harm, injury, loss or damage to their property or causing a breach of the Queen's peace, then you are not breaking the law and they have to leave you alone. You have total bodily integrity without exception. Nobody can force you to do anything to your body that you do not want them to do. No coercion, no blackmail or threats of violence, no threats of fines or imprisonment, no forced quarantine. It's your choice, no one else's. If you want to take the jab, it's up to you. But if you don't want to take it, they cannot force you and should not force you to. And also, I think it's coming well known now that it's experimental drug, and under those circumstances you cannot be forced. It's illegal. So these employers that are starting to come out trying to enforce it on their employees, you are acting illegally and unlawfully and you'll be brought to justice. So it's classed as treason, by the way, and all. So you've been warned. Now, these rights are yours and yours alone. You're born with them and no one can take them away. No one can take them away. Now, a police constable's job is to protect you from harm or loss or damage to your property and to maintain the Queen's peace. It's not to issue fines for a corporation, which is the British government. This is illegal, unlawful, and it's not their job. If the police are engaging in unlawful behaviour, they can be prosecuted in a private and personal capacity. If a police turns you away from your journey, which is unlawful, and you lose money, miss a flight, you can claim against the person who is dressed up as a police officer, but they are doing criminal and unlawful behaviour and are not acting under their oath. It would not be classed as corruption. It is criminal and unlawful behaviour. This information is coming to me by an ex-police officer, by the way. Please remember that. They can also sue you privately and also in their personal capacity, and if they have insurance, they can have indemnity insurance, or if they do something unlawful, a claim can be made against their indemnity insurance or their private income or their pensions or their house. So it's quite serious if a policeman does break his oath and is acting unlawful. Misconduct in public office. This is very serious for police officers and anyone in public office. The offence for this is maximum life in prison. So it is a serious offence. following unlawful orders is not a reasonable excuse or justification if they continue to break the law. They are committing a criminal offence because officers will say they're following orders. That's not a defence. Ignorance is not a defence. It's malfeasance in public office, and it carries a serious prison sentence. So film these officers if they are forcing you to do something that you know is unlawful, and have it as evidence, and ask them to turn on their body cameras too, and also ask to see their warrant cards, because on there would say police constable. Yeah, not police officer, it will say police constable. So it's very interesting, very interesting. But that's all I have for you. So these are your inalienable rights. So let's go on again with the quote. When people begin to ignore human dignity, it will not be long before they begin to ignore human rights. We do have rights. So I just thought I'd just put that one there. And yeah, there you go. So I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like, share and comment. And of course subscribe if you're new to this channel. And well, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. And I'll catch you soon.